The Adirondack Park is a place where people and nature share the same living space, where the sights and sounds of the forest make their way into our daily lives. On any given day, as someone living in the Adirondacks, you will walk, hike, run, drive, paddle, or maybe even ski past thousands, if not millions, of trees. And little do you know, all of these trees are either dependent on or threatened by microscopic organisms. And this relationship between tree and microbe has a name: symbiosis. Symbiosis is a relationship between two organisms that live closely together. There are several different classes of symbiosis, but the two main types that are more commonly known are parasitism and mutualism. Now, I'm sure that of those two types, parasitism probably caught your ear. It's the kind of term that might make you cringe, because we, as humans, share that symbiosis with some less than desirable creatures. Parasitism is a relationship where one organism benefits while the other is harmed. So, if you've ever woken up on your camping trip with mosquito bites, found a leech on your foot after a dip in the lake, or pulled a tick off your arm after a walk in the woods, you are familiar with parasitism. The trees we pass by day to day are no stranger to parasites either. Some are just having a harder time than we are when it comes to surviving them. And one Adirondack tree that is a classic example of just that is the American beech. Right now I'm standing in what most beech groves look like in the Adirondacks nowadays, and as you can see, they're not very big. Right here we have an older beech tree that is clearly dead, and has been dead for a while now. Now what's interesting is oftentimes when a beech is under attack by beech bark disease or other things, they kind of panic and send up what are called beech whips, which are little saplings from the roots or the base of the tree. And what's interesting, because this beech is older, I think that all of these saplings that you see behind me that are a decent size, they've been alive for a few years, came from this original beech tree. Beech bark disease is a unique parasitism caused by the combined impacts of the beech scale insect and an exotic fungus called Nectria. It begins with the scale insect making small holes in the outer bark of the beech trees. Then the spores of the Nectria fungus are able to enter those holes and infect the whole tree. Once the fungus has infected the whole tree, it can cause enough damage to be fatal. There are a few ways to tell if a beech tree is infected. A healthy beech tree will have beautiful, smooth bark. So if you see a beech with rough, damaged bark, it can be an indicator that this tree is infected. In some cases, the Nectria fungus can be visible to the naked eye. If so, you will see red, circular structures within the holes in the bark. And this is an example of what a beech tree can look like when its life isn't cut short by beech bark disease. Unfortunately, this beech is not within the bounds of the Adirondack Park. Finding a beech of this magnitude isn't very common anymore in the Adirondacks. And the decline of the American beech comes with a cost. The loss of a valuable food source for the Adirondack wildlife that we know and love. The parasitism between the American beech tree and Nectria are just one example of the many secret symbioses that occur between tree and microbe that we pass by in our daily lives. Fortunately, not all of these symbiotic relationships are destructive. The white pine is a character tree of the Adirondacks, with expansive oceans of these wispy green canopies, Whether you know them by name or not, you've seen them before. Left alone, with hundreds of years' worth of growth, these pines can reach a beautiful magnitude. And believe it or not, in order to achieve this successful growth and survival, these white pines owe some credit to the microbes beneath our feet. The other side to symbiosis is mutualism. In mutualism, both species involved benefit from the relationship. In the case of the white pine, this mutualistic relationship exists between tree and fungus. As part of their survival, many pines depend on what is called mycorrhizae. Mycorrhizae are a classification of root fungus. This fungus functions basically as an extension to the existing roots of trees. With the formation of mycorrhizae, certain nutrients are made more available to the tree, like nitrogen, water, and other minerals. In exchange, the mycorrhizae receive sugars from the trees, which are produced by photosynthesis. This exchange of goods between fungus and root occurs all over the world, for many different tree species. And at the same time, many of us are not aware that it's happening to the trees that we pass by on a day-to-day basis. And that's just the magic of microbes, the agents of change, invisible to the naked eye. Now, during your day-to-day life in the Adirondacks, as you pass by thousands of trees on your way to work or school, maybe you'll think of all those microscopic organisms beneath the ground or underneath the bark around you.